We all lose things, some more than others. We asked the state of Louisiana how much it's lost, and tonight we reveal a long list of lost or unaccounted for property belonging to the state, and topping that list, computers. Plenty of computers. In the last 3 years, how many computers do you think they've lost?
I have no idea.
This wasn't the only person who had trouble answering our question.
How many computers?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a pretty big number.
12,
Higher.
maybe 60.
Higher.
Maybe a couple hundred.
Higher.
Higher?
Wow, 2,000.
Higher. We'll get to the answer later, but first, just one example of the amount of computers the state of Louisiana simply can't account for. State records show on September 10th of 2009, the Recovery School District purchased 180 computers worth $746 each. About 1 year later, those same records show all 180 computers are missing, worth $134,000.
It's unbelievable.
But it's not just computers the state has lost.
I don't know how it's humanly possible for this much equipment to disappear.
We showed North Shore State Representative John Schroeder a lengthy list of all property missing from the state in the past 3 years.
This is blatant. This is just somebody not doing their job. I don't know why it's this way, but obviously somebody's dropped the ball.
The records show in 3 years, 2008, 2009, and 2010, the state can't account for more than $23 million worth of property. More than 10,000 items are missing.
It's disgusting.
The list reaches almost every part of state government in every part of Louisiana.
Desks, all these desks, chairs, tables, desks, credenza.
The list includes almost any office supply you can imagine.
More chairs, more desks, file cabinets, computers, more desks.
Missing the most equipment, LSU, about $4.5 million.
If you look at the amount of property that LSU lost, for example, it's almost 10% of the mid-year cut that they made. So, I mean, these are real dollars. And these are taxpayer dollars.
On LSU's lost property list, a piano, a $47,000 video edit system, a $2,000 diving board, a $2,000 sofa, and a trailer restroom with a commercial wheelchair lift, worth $55,000.
It's serious.
Paul Rainwater heads Governor Jindal's Division of Administration, which is responsible for overseeing property in the state.
We want 100% of property accounted for.
Rainwater says the state owns about $2.4 billion worth of property, so in the big picture, the loss is small.
And what we try to do is look at the report, look who are repeat offenders, and then go back and do training for them to teach them, proper inventory procedures, proper audit procedures, and then if there's criminal activity, we turn it over to the internal auditor inside the agency, who then works with the state inspector general or the district attorney.
In the last 3 years, the state's Department of Transportation can't account for $2.7 million worth of property, including a $175,000 fiber optic light and testing equipment worth $19,000. All taxpayer money now lost.
These systems would not even last a week in the private world.
Grambling University can't account for $1.5 million worth of property, including a $23,000 John Deere tractor and a $7,600 Bush Hog lawnmower. How does this stuff disappear or would not be accounted for?
Well, I mean, again, poor inventory, poor control mechanisms in some cases.
Tractors, meat slicers, it looks like all kind of things. Refrigerators, furniture, bowling alley equipment. Obviously our inventory system is broken.
Even in the House of Representatives, a $1,200 China buffet is missing. 5 Queen Anne-style side chairs are missing from the governor's mansion. A year-old computer purchased for $1,600 disappeared from the governor's office. Of the $23 million lost, some of the equipment is old and outdated.
And we can recoup some money from this outdated stuff. It's worth something to somebody.
The state has a mechanism for getting rid of old, outdated property. It's stored here in Baton Rouge, and once a month the state auctions off its surplus property. It's where the state gets rid of unwanted computers. Remember, the Recovery School District lost 180 last year. Well, 1 year earlier, $135,000 worth of laptop computers disappeared too.
That's a ton of computers.
But not close to the number the state lost in a 3-year period. According to records, the state can't account for 4,155 computers, worth a total of $7.6 million.
That's pretty amazing. I don't know why they lost so many computers. How do you lose computers?
So many computers, so much lost property, that's costing taxpayers millions of dollars.
My concern is where'd they go? I guess, we lose all these computers and all that money that, I'm forking out in my paycheck.
In statements sent to us today, the Department of Transportation says it's accounted for another $750,000 worth of property. LSU says the figures are misleading since there is no depreciation figured into the total amount of money. But keep in mind, for much of this lost property, Paul Rainwater of the state says after 3 years, the state will purchase a replacement for the lost property.
Wow.
So we were figuring out for every 450 of us, there's
an
one
item
piece of lost state property
missing.
Who tracks this stuff?
The Division of Administration, you heard from Paul Rainwater, who's the commissioner. They actually track it. They have all the agencies, universities, departments report to them, and they compile this list once a year. They say one of the reasons because they really want to track it. They want to try to improve on this. And as he said, some of the bigger offenders they work with and try to get them better with their inventory. Some of it certainly is likely they think stolen. Some of it's just bad accounting. They don't know exactly. It may be somewhere in the department. They just don't know where
But
it
the
is.
trailer restroom?
Yeah,
that's huge.
That's
literally.
Who lost the tractor?
Who lost the tractor?
All right, we want to make a clarification, too.